talking about the 4 vows, which we did this morning, just before the morning service. The second one is Bono mu jinse gan sei gan do dan dan. Bono mu jinse. Afflictions are endless, I vow to dissolve them all. That's a pretty strong statement. The way I would address that, the way I would talk about that, is to say that the way we usually take a problem or an affliction or something that's in the way we usually handle that is to go to war with it, to explain it, to lecture it, to lecture ourselves, and to try to manipulate it or do something about it. And if it doesn't budge, then we make excuses for it, or we blame someone, or we blame ourselves. We're always fussing around and meddling and meddling. And if all of that doesn't work, it's still difficult, then we may ignore it or go away or distract ourselves from it, cover it up. There's so many ways. I could just, anything from drugs to playing video games to going for a walk. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going for a walk. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with video games or anything else. It's just that when that kind of thing becomes something that we're using to avoid looking at or observing or seeing what is called here in this way of talking about it, what the affliction actually is, what it is. So before we go to work on it, hammer and tong, try to fix, manipulate, control, get rid of, turn down, adjust, whatever you want to say. Before we start doing that, the idea here is, in this teaching, is to first let's see what it is. If you don't know what is causing the suffering, the pain, the difficulty, the appearance of that something you're calling an affliction or someone else is calling an affliction, if you don't see it fundamentally, how it works, what are all of the gaps and the connections, the modifications that are going on and probably fluctuating all the time, unless you've got a really good, clear view of that. You're trying to perform surgery or trying to cut it out or eliminate it is probably not going to be too successful. But the circular motion that we set up there, kind of the cause and effect thing, kind of makes us think, well, I just didn't do it right. Well, if I'd just done this, well, if I just done that. It's like being, our commentary, if you haven't noticed, you should notice. Our commentary might be extremely clear, extremely accurate, exact. Everybody listens, we talk, like, yeah, you're right. That's the problem. That's the issue. Consensus. We build a reality out of getting consensus from others. Probably not too good to discuss that too much. Any kind of situation like that with others, because you get their opinion about what they think about what you're thinking. You've heard me do this many times. It sounds foolish, but there's something to it. What people are thinking about what we're thinking they're thinking, or what they're thinking about what we're thinking about what they're thinking about us. I'm gonna stop right there. Start to get a headache. So the sitting practice of meditation, the Buddhist path altogether, but especially sitting down and looking at what it is. And if you're having difficulties with anything in your life, anything that you can label, or maybe something you can't even label it, if you do anything but, this may sound like propaganda, I really don't care. But if you do anything with it but just look at it, see what it is, then you might as well be doing brain surgery with a blindfold on. You might as well be doing, you're so desperate for a solution, you're just kind of, well, maybe that'll work, maybe this will work. Well, I'll pour this on it. Well, I'll cover it up with this. That doesn't work. I'll hit it with a hammer. That's not working. What else you do? Oh, talk to your neighbors. Say, well, you know, I took mine fishing. You took it fishing. How can you take your depression fishing? This gives me time to think a little bit. Actually, I'm not thinking at all. I don't know how to do that. So it's an issue. It's a problem. It's painful. And we're not, you know, I'm saying take it fishing. I'm just saying that everybody has, you know, people can't hardly listen to you without giving you a solution. I would say, shut up. You've heard that before, haven't you? It's becoming more and more popular these days. Shut up. Seems to work really well. And there's something to that. Actually allow, when someone is telling you about their broken lawnmower, listen to what is being said there. You can actually train by listening to your own mind. You can begin